patron of a leading high school passes away. His contributions being remembered. I'm Joan Davis-Roll. That story coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Effective immediately, residents in the Western District will now be able to experience extended hours at the 8 Mile Rock Clinic. That story straight ahead in the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
The Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news tributes continue for Honorary Chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Sir Jack Hayward, who passed away in Florida yesterday at the age of 91, this time from the halls of Parliament. Sabrina Brown has more.
Sir Jack Hayward was one of the pioneers of the city of Freeport, having convinced his father, the late Sir Charles Hayward, to partner with the late Wallace Groves in developing the then Pine Barren into a modern city. During the morning session of the House of Assembly Wednesday, Minister of Tourism and Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Obi Wilshcombe, said Sir Jack, along with his business partner, the late Edward St. George, made an outstanding contribution to Grand Bahama that paved the way for the advancement of the Bahamian people.
We must recognize the work that they did. We must recognize the contribution they made in education, Mr. Speaker, because they sought to establish with the institutions of church, to establish schools, and to cause for many Bahamians to have education. Mr. Speaker, they did much for the infrastructural development of Freeport, and that's why Freeport today is already prepared for 500,000 people. It has infrastructure. It is a modern society, Mr. Speaker, and that is because of the work and the contribution made. Sir Jack Hayward also contributed to the arts, because we can all tell you of the witty nature and his own humor.
Minister Wilshcombe noted that although the honorary chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority did not always agree with the government, he remained focused on moving the island forward.
Mr. Speaker, Sir Jack didn't always stand to reason with what we wanted, but he stood on grounds because he believed in certain things. He believed that he had ownership of Freeport. He believed that his ownership gave him rights, and that those rights would never interfere with the rights of the people. He always wanted to be succeeded by individuals who would come to the Bahamas, invest in the Bahamas, but who would always understand that Freeport was a part of this country and that Freeport was to be this progressive place.
Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama Peter Turnquest had similar sentiments, adding that Sir Jack reasserted his love for Grand Bahama and was committed to ensuring that the nation's second city was returned to its former glory days.
Up to the end, he was actively engaged in defending the idea of Freeport as a free port. He could not understand why governments always saw the need to attack the concept of a free port when it had worked so wonderfully in developing that Pine Barren Island, Grand Bahama, into the modern city it is today. And why we as a people don't work with the concept to progress that island even further.
Turnquest described Sir Jack's passing as a changing of the guard for Grand Bahama, and he said he hopes his legacy will live on through the work that he has done at the Port Authority and also in the civic and social arenas. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, issuing a statement on the passing of Sir Jack Hayward. Ingram says he enjoyed doing business with Sir Jack, even when they disagreed. He says they disagreed most recently over the need to broaden the ownership, leadership, and control of Freeport. And even in disagreeing, Sir Jack was always amicable. The former Prime Minister says the honorary chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority has left a distinctive mark on the development of Grand Bahama, not only on the business and investment fronts, but on the education front, in environmental protection, and in the promotion of sport, his personal passion. Now, Ingram says he was pleased when given the opportunity in 1998 to name one of Grand Bahama's modern high schools in Sir Jack's honor, noting that he was most deserving of this recognition of his dedication to the people of Freeport and to the Bahamas. He says Freeport will certainly miss Sir Jack. And the death of Sir Jack coming as a shock to the staff and students of the Jack Hayward High School. Tonight, the school's principal is reflecting on his legacy in education and the possible impact his passing could have on an institution which bears the name of the fallen pioneer, philanthropist, and developer. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
There's an institution which stands prominently in the Pioneers Loop community of Freeport and named in honor of Sir Jack in 1998, the Jack Hayward High School. The historic event was a crowning moment for one of the architects of Freeport, developing Freeport into a place once known as the Magic City and establishing this island as the industrial capital of the Bahamas. School Principal Yvonne Ward says Sir Jack, like his close friend and fallen comrade, the late Edward St. George, have left a legacy, having contributed significantly to this island's youth and this country's next generation.
For obvious reasons, of course, a school this size, you need funding. And Mr. Jack Hayward, he had the monies in order to fund most of the areas that we needed funding at the school. Like you said, I was not the principal, but I was at St. George's, and whatever Edward St. George provided for St. George's, Sir Jack provided for Jack Hayward, so I know they got quite a bit, including the gym and all the other workshops and other facilities that he financed. And so it was a good thing to name the schools after those two gentlemen. As you know, they have been here for many years, and they were the pioneers in the development of Grand Bahama, and especially the Grand Bahama Port Authority. So it was a good thing to name the school after them.
Ward remembers the fallen pioneer for his generosity, uncanny wit, and faith in this island's youth.
Well, I know it's going to be a big loss. It's certainly a big loss for us. Even though, like I said, we didn't see him as often as we would have liked to, we still would miss him because he is the patron of the school. The school is named in his honor after him. And so it's going to be a big loss because we can't communicate even through his secretary anymore. I don't know who will be responsible for that, but I hope that whoever it is will be someone who will be as generous as he was to the school.
What's your fondest memories of Sir Jack?
His great sense of humor. He had a wonderful sense of humor, and he had an excellent memory. And he remembered everybody. I don't know how he remembered me being here, leaving, and coming back. He remembered me. He does remember you. Excellent memory for a man of his age.
Ward recalls the final event hosted by the school and served as a tribute in honor of the school's patron.
We were fortunate enough to spend his 90th birthday with him, and so that was a good thing. The students were able to sing for him. One of our students sang his favorite song, The White Cliffs of Dover, and so one of our prefects, she sang it for him, and she did an excellent job. He actually cried.
The veteran educator noted that Sir Jack's passing will definitely leave a void.
He always believed in excellence in education and children doing well, and so if there were any programs that we had that supported our children being able to read or excelling in any area, that is why we built the vocational areas. And so I would hope that they would really pay attention, because that is what he wanted for all children in the Bahamas, or in his school especially, to be successful in life.
Jack Hayward High School, dubbed as a fitting monument and lasting testament to Sir Jack Hayward's commitment to education and Grand Bahama. Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Well, here on Grand Bahama, Sir Jack Hayward was known for his invaluable contributions to many charities, but he had a soft spot for animals. In this report, officials of the Grand Bahama Humane Society say they are mourning the loss of their greatest supporter. And passion for animals. And in 1968, Sir Jack, along with his father, Sir Charles Hayward, became the founder of the Grand Bahama Humane Society. In 2008, Sir Jack recognized the need for a modern facility to house animals in need of shelter. Executive Director Tip Burrows says she has always had tremendous respect for Sir Jack, adding that the society has lost a true, caring, and compassionate friend.
He loved this Humane Society. I mean, especially after this building was built, when he would be returning to Grand Bahama from his trips, he would often just pull in the parking lot and just look around and go on, and then I might get a call a few days later saying the place looks great, or you need to get the grass cut or something like that. So he stayed very involved, and he was always available if we needed advice or counsel or anything.
President of the Grand Bahama Humane Society, Joseph Darville, says Sir Jack's selfless acts and philanthropic actions will never be forgotten. He says Sir Jack continued to make invaluable contributions up until the time of his death.
Just a few weeks before his departure, we met with him and we brought to him our particular concerns about the Humane Society with respect to the vast number of animals that were coming in and the lack of proper adequate money to actually care for them. And of course, again, he came through very generously and gave us a donation to assist.
The society relies solely on fundraisers and donations. Darville was asked if there was a concern that the loss of Sir Jack would result in a financial challenge for the society.
I think he has sufficiently sensitized the Grand Bahama Port Authority that this is a necessary fundamental service that has to be provided, and it is within the confines of the bonded area of Freeport, which comes under the jurisdiction of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and therefore we actually look to them doing even more.
Officials of the Humane Society says at one point Sir Jack was the proud owner of up to 16 potcakes. He believed that humans had a right to take care of the most helpless of God's creatures. Board member Erica Gates.
In addition to the importance of the Humane Society's work for the community, Sir Jack was also an animal lover who felt strongly the need to protect those who can't speak for themselves. I think in time, all of us will realize that we have lost a caring and compassionate friend in Sir Jack.
Oh, we've lost a great friend, as has all of Grand Bahama. It's just, not unexpected, of course, when someone is aging, but it still was a shock that it came so quickly, and it's just very sad.
Our reflections on the struggle to majority rule continue. Tonight, Amanda Adderley, affectionately known as Mama Gold, talks about her experience as an employee at the King's Inn Hotel during that period in history.
Grandma, Pa, and me, we came on the Sloop John B.
At the King's Inn was when they asked me to go in one area to work, and that was not me because I always did paperwork. I say, no, I can't go there. They say, well, you'll have to go. And I look, I say, go where? You gotta go home. I said, no. I said, I don't say I won't go, but you will be in the front. I will walk behind you. I say, because that's not the way. I say, now, tell me something. You ever cut bait? Because if you can't cut bait, you got to jump overboard. I said, because I am not going anywhere. So when they called gentlemen at that time, those names to me were so long for me, I never remembered that. I said, but we are here to work.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Grand Bahama Health Service is making another leap when it comes to the provision of health care throughout the island. Yesterday, medical officials extended and made a change in the work hours at the 8 Mile Rock Clinic. They believe it is badly needed to meet the demands of the Western District. Here's Megan Shepard with the story.
Administrator for the Grand Bahama Health Services, Sharon Williams, says she is pleased to announce that the hours at the 8 Mile Rock Community Clinic have been extended from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. These changes took effect on Monday. She says this is just the beginning of plans to improve health care throughout the community and to hopefully decrease the load on the emergency room while giving patients more options.
We want to assure the public of 8 Mile Rock and West Grand Bahama that they do not have to go to the emergency room for minor ailment where they have to wait for extended hour, because of course the emergency room is geared toward treating emergencies, and that is why there is such a long wait in the emergency room.
Clinical Director Dr. Tiadra Dorset Johnson says while the clinic is extending its time, their services and focus will still remain on quality health care.
We want persons not only who are sick to come to the clinic, but those who are in need of a checkup. We want to try to, promote more prevention and health maintenance, and so we encourage persons, especially if you are working, you could come and make an afternoon appointment, like for 5 o'clock after work. You can call ahead of time and make an appointment to come for a checkup. Also, persons who have chronic diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes. Also, we encourage you to make an appointment more towards the afternoon and leave the morning time for persons who may be sick and needing to see the doctor.
Nurse manager at the clinic, Kathy Saunders, says various medical professionals will be on staff throughout the new hours to meet the needs of patients. She adds she is pleased to have these extended hours as the wait time at the facilities should now be improved.
Especially with the closure of the Hawksbill Clinic, we saw an influx of patients coming in, and that's a given. But the 8 Mile Rock area is the largest settlement in the Bahamas, and we have had persons coming here waiting extended time. People are here from like 6 a.m. just to get number one, to be seen first and leave. But because of this extended hour, it is hoped that patients will be seen in a timely fashion. The wait will not be as long, and they will get the quality care. Of course, we are a preventative clinic, and so we will still continue with our health education, health promotion, things like that here at the clinic.
Now, even though new hours are in place, Principal Nursing Officer Sherilyn Bain is encouraging patients to continue to make and keep their regularly scheduled appointments.
Those with specialties like the pregnant mothers and children and immunization, we want those persons to keep their special appointments, to recognize that those clinics are designed and set up to deal with their special needs.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, value-added tax has been in effect now for the past 2 weeks in the country. And here on Grand Bahama, one merchant is already offering a tax break to his customers. He calls it a goodwill gesture during these tough times. Italia Hall fills us in.
Now that value-added tax has been implemented in the Bahamas, Dolly Madison Home Center is stepping in to assist its customers. The store has taken a different approach by implementing a new program that they call value-added savings.
Our program is designed to help our value-added customers save some of their hard-earned money. Here's how it works. On random days of the year, Dolly Madison Home Center will pay our customers VAT on all purchases they make at Dolly Madison. The value-added savings days will be announced one day prior to the promotion on ZNS TV and radio. Notices will also appear on our Queens Highway billboard and on our Dolly Madison Home Center Facebook page.
General Manager James Roll says this program will be very beneficial for consumers.
January is usually a hard month for most people. The introduction of VAT, I think, puts a little extra burden on people. So for our customers, we feel as though we can ease some of that by introducing this program, which basically does not cost the customer the extra that January 1st initially brings on them in terms of spending.
Operators of Dolly Madison say the price in the store has remained the same following the introduction of VAT.
I'd like to announce that tomorrow is our first value-added savings day. So come on down and we will pay your value-added tax.
Roberts note that Dolly Madison Home Center has a long history of working with the small man and states that the company see their value-added saving days as the perfect opportunity for Dolly Madison to step up to the plate and assist their customers during these challenging financial times. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, Ricardo Liveborn, as a check on sports when we return.
Grandma, Pa, and me, we came on the slow John B.
I said, but the saying is, if you can't cut bait, mister, you can jump overboard. I say, and you going overboard and I can't swim, so you know I ain't coming behind you. Okay? I said, and if you can't cut that, I said, you going, but not me. I am here to do a work. I was hired to do a work, not that. I was hired to do secretarial work, and I am not going in that pit. I'm not doing that. I say, don't mind that. You're here as Bahamian. I say, and your red coat and your top hat, but you gotta say you're supposed to be a policeman to get me off this property, like Mr. Jones said. You can't do that.
So sad, sad for the Captain Shaw.
Hey everybody, it's Sports Time. I'm Ricardo Lightborn, and this one tonight goes out to my good friend Dashie Williams and the Seattle Seahawks. You see, Dashie and his Seahawks mash up my Panthers on the weekend. He did the right thing, dumped that dead Dolphin team, and now he's on the championship squad. Way to go, Dashie. Well, Taylor University women's softball team, folks, left the snow in Indiana to train here in Grand Bahama and assist in the development of the game of softball with our girls. Kimberly Mullings attended the clinic on the weekend, held by Taylor U.
I absolutely love it. I mean, you can't get anything wrong with sun. We're really cold in Indiana, but the girls here are just amazing.
Every year, Taylor University comes to Grand Bahama all the way from Indiana to host clinics in various sporting divisions at different schools and development leagues on the island. This time, their women's softball team paid us a visit. The girls of the Rising Stars Softball League were at the GB Sports Complex on the weekend. After spending some time on the field with the girls, Anna Gunderson, second base player for Taylor, says she hopes they walked away with more knowledge of the game.
We hope that they walk away with some new knowledge that they didn't have, and just like knowing one of us and being able to go and tell their friends like, hey, we learned this from the Taylor softball team, and it's good just to get our name out here, because if these girls want to come and play on our team someday, like, that'd be so cool.
Head coach Brad Bowser says he enjoys networking whenever he visits Grand Bahama, along with enhancing the already learned fundamentals of softball with the younger athletes.
Just to get to know like where they're at softball wise, and just to kind of teach a few skills, and really as much as anything just to get to know some people. It's really neat for us. So our team loves it, and we love doing it each time we're here. It's always a great trip for us. This is our second time of coming down, and we love it here. We love getting to come down and practice and do clinics, and the girls take a class from one of our professors, and so it's just a great trip for us. Great team bonding, and we love the island. It's great.
Tabernacle students and softball players Talia Vega and Antonia Cooper say they found the Taylor University Clinic very beneficial.
I learned how to bat, like how to snap your wrist when you're batting, and like how to catch the ball in outfield. It teaches more about softball and the different fundamentals that they have that we don't have at the moment. The different pitches that they have, like the drop ball, they were teaching me earlier today.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Total Sports.
Now, the Thompson family and Freeport Gospel Chapel Church is actually hosting the team, and the Rising Star softball program is thankful for the softball clinic and instruction from Taylor University. Narissa Lockhart is elated with this kind of assistance.
Basically enhance the fundamental skills in which they would have already been taught, and it's an enhancement, and it's good to see different methods from other schools and different coaches and being able to be exposed. Each sporting discipline should take advantage of the different disciplines that they do bring forward. We tend to think about scholarships all the time, but just being able to train with the college teams is a good idea. You know, not so much thinking about scholarships will come, but trying to get the fundamental and the basics down, and then we can think about scholarships later.
Now, the Grand Bahama Secondary School Athletic Association, Derek Nesbitt, OB Wolfscrim High School League started at the St. George's Gym, but the insider, Ozzie Simmons, also issued his top 10 high school rankings. And here we go. You've got C.I. Gibson as the #1 boys team, followed by Tabernacle Falcons, Doris Johnson, Sunland, St. George's, C.C. Sweeting, C.V. Bethel, Sac Telios, also Adador Rogers. As far as the girls, Super 6, That is C.R. Walker, number 1. SAC, then you've got Prince Will, Queens College, Temple Christian, and then also the BMAS Warriors is right there as well. Now, the Grand Bahama Volleyball Association also started its playoff last night at the YMCA gym. The Grand Bahama Shipyard Cruisers over the Mr. Baker boys at 26-28, 28-26, and 17-15 in a co-ed affair. The BVA Stars down the BMAS Warriors, 24-26, 23-24 as well. And also, get this, they are in the court on Thursday. Should be a pretty good one over there. And I gotta say to Dashi, congratulations. He had on all his Seahawks shirts and jersey and hat and everything today. Dashi, you are great. When you see RH, tell him that their Tampa team needs some help, okay? That's it.